Will stay off tomorrow. Power utility Eskom says stage 2 load shedding will continue. They say the return to service of some generation units has been delayed. Power cuts will kick in at 5 in the morning. For more, we're joined by Eskom spokesperson Sikonathi Mantshantsha. Thank you very much, as always, for taking the time to speak to us to clarify the delay in the return to service. What's been happening? We know a lot of generation units were offline. There was a delay in maintenance. Give us a little bit more clarity.
Hi, Anuli. Thank you for having me. What we are having are the delayed units that should have returned to service today, where we had a problem at the Kusile power station. They will be coming online tomorrow, and that is the major issue. They will deliver another 1,400 megawatts of generating capacity during the course of the day, when the first of the units will start off. We have in the past 24 hours recovered 3 generation units in other power stations, but that is not sufficient to enable us to end this current load shedding.
Sikonathi, what's been the impact of COVID-19 on the teams performing these sort of routine maintenance and bringing units back online? We know that the impact on every sector in South Africa has been great, but we don't always take into consideration that you at Eskom must also be impacted.
Definitely, Eskom is impacted and its suppliers. We have given an example in the media statement that we issued now, that one of our suppliers, a large team that's doing maintenance at the Medupi power station, where there are 78 contractors or employees of the contractor, 46 of them have this week tested positive for COVID. Our teams have been impacted in other power stations. We will elaborate on this tomorrow afternoon when we give a much fuller update for the week. But definitely the COVID pandemic is not making our situation, which was not good in the first place, it is not making it any better. We are being impacted by, indeed, the pandemic.
Sikonathi, give us the best and the worst case scenario pictures. If things go according to plan, do we expect that from Tuesday we can have a little bit of respite from load shedding, or is the expectation that load shedding stage 2 will continue for the rest of the week?
Only let's be as frank here as we have been for all of this time. The risk of load shedding remains elevated for the better part of this year. This will carry on all the way until at least September, and by that I do not mean load shedding will be eliminated in September. We will have a respite here and there during this period, but our reality is load shedding is here and will be with us for quite a while. When we come back tomorrow, we will tell you about the whole week, but from time to time, unfortunately and regrettably so, the people of South Africa have to know where we are. The reality is load shedding will be part of life for the next few months indeed, and that is where we find ourselves as Eskom. We'd rather give you this hard news right now rather than pretend things will be much better than they really are at this point.
Sikonathi, when you give us this hard news, it might soften the blow slightly to give South Africans some suggestions as to what they can do to try and carry on with life. And that's not just for ordinary South Africans who need electricity for basic living, and especially when children are at home trying to take part in online learning, but that's also for South Africans desperately trying to scrape out a living with businesses that cannot function without electricity. What are we to do?
It's absolutely a great question. It's regrettable that this company, Eskom, is in this situation and has been in this situation for quite a while. Let me start by telling you what the management and the engineering teams at Eskom are doing to get us out of this situation. The 4 generation units at Medupi power station have now had their design defects repaired, and the last 2 are being worked on. The work will carry on at the Kusile power station, where the hope is we will at least have from those 2 power stations a reliable supply of about 9,000 megawatts in order to reduce the impact of load shedding. That is what Eskom is doing on its part, in addition to the increased maintenance that we have told the people of South Africa about. This, we hope, as I have said earlier, will significantly reduce the occurrence of load shedding starting later in the year. As for the people of South Africa, they can help Eskom by reducing consumption. They can indeed help Eskom by making sure that we reduce the theft of the electricity infrastructure, because quite a big chunk of electricity is wasted and indeed stolen when a lot of money goes into cable theft and stuff like that. As for people at home, you can do everything to reduce your consumption, which also ultimately helps your electricity, lower your electricity bill as well.
Sikonathi, you've asked South Africans to come on board to help Eskom by reducing not only theft of electricity, but usage of electricity. Is Eskom going to come on board and help South Africans with the cost of electricity?
That is not possible at this point. Unfortunately, it's the reality is Eskom is heavily indebted and is able to continue with the help of the government of the Republic of South Africa through the financial assistance we have received. So Eskom, as we have been explaining all along, is not in a position to carry any or to give any financial relief to anybody. What we are doing, in fact, is trying to pay down the debt that is hobbling Eskom. But the biggest part for Eskom is to improve the reliability and the performance of the power stations. And that is what Eskom is working on at the moment.
Well, thank you very much. That was Eskom spokesperson Sikonathi Mantshantsha, undoubtedly painting a very bleak picture for us in the months ahead.